in a bichul, in a pamphlet of Chassidus from the Tzemach Tzedek, which had came out in this time of the year 5712 Tafshinid Beis, on a lengthy explanation of Achishena and Be'ita. Let's explain a little bit what that means. Achishena means Zachu, means that the Yidden were Zeich, and therefore it says that Mashiach is going to come before the time. It says Loi Zachu, if the Yidden were not Zeich, then Be'ita is going to come in its designated time. So it explains how this has to do with each and every one of us individually, and how this is a connection to Ahistalkos, of the Neshama and Guf. In general, the idea of someone being worthy or not has to do with his neshama, has to do with if he fulfilled everything or not. And we're going to explain the maila of Achishena over Be'ita, how that Ahistalkos before the time is actually on a much higher level than when it has to go and be Be'ita in its time. In general, there is, in the world, there's good and there's bad. There's Rumazeh, and then there is Kedusha. And we don't want a possibility of having anything bad, having any any bad things coming involved into the Kedusha. If a person's Histalkos is going to be in Be'ita, over there's going to go and be possibility and some time for bad things to come in, because when the good finished, that's when he passed away. But when the Histalkos is going to go and be in a way of suddenly, before the time, over there, because the person was on a much higher level, there was no room for anything bad to come into. And more than that, a neshama, when it's in a way of zachu, it's the way how before the time it was fully purified and it didn't 100% fill its avodah, but the lo zachu, that it's not pure, and that there's room for the bad things to come inside. And this is not only when it comes to regular people, also when it comes to tzaddikim, as we know that the Alter Rebbe, the first Lubavitcher Rebbe, said that he passed away early by a mistake of a turn in the road. And the Rebbe Marash, which was the Alter Rebbe's great-grandson, had a son. His name was Avram Sender. And we know that Avram Sender had a very, very short life, 8 years. And those 8 years, they say, was a tikkun, as to complete the Alter Rebbe's years. And both of these people, that the Alter Rebbe and Rebbe Avram Sender, seemingly passed away before the time. But really, it was that because they were on such a high level, that they were on such a high level that there was no place for anything bad to come into them. And we could translate these two things of Achishena and Zachu to our day-to-day life. And what is that? We have in a way of someone jumping from one thing to the next, and then we have it going slowly. When a person is jumping, that's the idea of Achishena, not in its right time. But if it's going to be la'at, over here means that it took slowly and it happened at the right time. Now, we want that a person's avodah really to be in a way of Achishena, not in a way of Be'ita. And we'll explain why. The reason why we want it to be in a way of Achishena is when it comes to Inyanim of Kedusha, coming of Mamayla Lamata. On the other hand, when it's Mamata Lamayla, when it's coming from below to above, over there we actually want it to go on Be'ita. And why? Because when a person is going by himself, his own avodah, over there, he wants that when he's going to go to the next level, he's going to take everything with him. But when it comes to the idea of Torah, over there we specifically want it to be in a way of jumping. Which, what does that mean? A person went to shul. A person davened. He had a geschmack of davening, a joyful davening. He had feelings in his heart, all about connecting to the Eibusher. But a person, though, has to go and make a livelihood. He has to go and getting involved in Gashmistika stuff. So how is he going to come about this Gashmistika stuff? Is he going to go and become right away jumping from davening? Or is it going to be slowly, slowly, after his davening weird off, then is he going to go and get involved in the world with matters? So we specifically want him to be in a way of jumping. We want it to be in a higher way. Why is that? Because when it's going to be in a higher way, all his whole avodah is going to be in a higher way. His whole business is going to be in a kedusha way. When it's going to become slowly, slowly, then over there, it's already all the good, so to speak, had left him. And not only this is talking about adults, also the Rebbe is going down, telling each and every Talmud Yeshiva that when he needs to go out and do in a way of parnasa, we want it to be also in these two ways, but we're explaining obviously that the maile of having it done in a way of this idea of the achishena. The first way that a person can go and do it is he's gonna slowly, he's gonna learn, he's gonna go to school, and he's gonna spend a lot of time on it. The second way is the way of jumping. And he's just gonna get jumping right into it. And what's the biggest mile of jumping right into it? The same way you jumped in, you can jump back out straight into kedusha. When a person went slowly, when there's and take him much longer to get back. And this is what the Rebbe is telling each and every one of us, that we have this ability to jump right into it and stay with our good with us our entire day. And this is the teichen of the Maimer, what we said about the idea of achishena when it comes to histalkus and our avodah. That it is that the Yerida, when a person can fall, he can fall very low. But at the same time, the Maila of the Achishena is that he's able to go and jump. That even if he fell, he can right away jump straight back onto the wagon and do what is right. See you next time.